Hello friends. Myself Dr. Vinayak. In the previous classes of the plant physiology, we are studied the plant water relationship and also the transpiration in the plant system. So after a long gap, now we are going to the another concept that is called as ascent of sap. Some of you all know that. So usually in the case of plant, usually what happens, the xylem and the phloem structure will be there. They helps in a conduction. So going to the concept of ascent of sap, that means the upward momentum of the water and the minerals in the plants through the translocating tissues, that is called as ascent of sap. So in the right side picture is showing that how actually the water is or the minerals is conducted in the plant body. So usually there are different organs or the elements involved in the ascent of sap. So usually mainly the tracheary element of the xylem are mainly involved in the ascent of sap. So usually in case of these uh, elements, so tracheids and vessels are commonly occurs in the xylem. So in case of vessels, especially in case of the woody plants, these vessels are involved in the ascent of sap. But in case of the herbaceous plants, so usually the tracheids are involved in the ascent of sap. So coming to the process of ascent of sap, usually all of you know that the water is absorbed by the root hairs. Water is absorbed by the root hairs, and xylem elements are present all over the length of the xylem, so which is responsible for the ascent of sap, as shown in the figure. So usually the right side figure is showing the different elements which are present in the xylem of the stem. Usually xylem is present in the stem portion, so that usually the diagram itself is enlarged, is showing the how actually is water is or the ascent of sap takes place in the plants. Coming to the structure organization of the xylem elements, the xylem is mainly consist of four elements, that's xylem cells, xylem vessels, xylem tracheids and the pits. So this is the diagram is showing the brown color region is the xylem vessels, and this is the xylem tracheids, and the marked one is the pits. How actually that's mainly involved in the ascent of sap. So usually the next, how actually the tracheids are involved in the ascent of sap. As shown in the figure itself, it's showing the tracheids have the large spatial platform that provides the continuous system, and they do not afford much resistance for the smooth flow of water. So usually xylem parenchyma provides access for the lateral movement of the water, and usually they consist of the inorganic and organic compounds that is transported to the xylem parenchyma. And next, going to the rate of momentum of the water, how much the percentage of water will be conducted or the ascent of sap takes place in the plants. So usually for this study, so usually various radioactive elements or the isotopes used for the to check the rate of movement in the plant. So based on that, so usually in case of xylem, so 60 to 70 centimeter per minute is usually the rate of momentum of the ascentum sap will be takes place. So but it depend on the environmental condition and RH of the atmosphere. So due to the transpiration full, this ascent sap will be takes place. So this is the and schematic representation how actually the transpiration pull takes place in the plant that involved in the ascent of saris. For that, the various theories have put forward to explain the mechanism of ascent of sap. the some of the theories are vital theories, root pressure theory, and the physical theories. These are the main three theories that involved in the explaining the transportation of the water, that's ascent of sap in case of the plants. So vital theory was have the sub other theories, that's Godwixy theory and pulsation theory and the root pressure theory. These will support for the vital force theory. This is the flow chart is showing the theories related to the ascent of sap. So in exam sometime just to ask the explain the theories on vital force theory for the 7 marks. The vital force theory that is mainly involved in the three theories, that's a Godowski theory, and that is a another Strickberger theory, and J.C. Bose also explained the capillary theory, and apart from that imbibition theory and atmospheric cohesion transpiration theory. So this is how actually the vital force theories and the physical force theories. The physical force theories are the root pressure theory, imbibition theory, capillary theory, and the cohesion tension theory, that is called as CTC theories. So first one is the vital theories. So what is the vital theories? So in this type, the tracheids and the vessels present in the xylem, that's the xylem parenchyma and the xylem rays, that are mainly involved in the translocation of the water in the plants. So the physical force theories, that is the root pressure theory and the imbibition theory. The first one is a vital theory, second one is physical force theory, that is explained by root pressure theory. So usually the imbibition force, that how actually the imbibition, just like, so if you put some seeds in the um, water, so usually what happens, it will got absorb the water and it start to imbibition or the enlarge. So like that, so usually in case of the plants, the water has to absorb by one cell to the other cell and it will be transport to the imbibition force. So like that, the water will be transport in the plant. That's the one theory. The earlier I told, that's another vital theory, that's a Godowski theory. So due to the rhythmic change of the OP, that's the osmotic pressure of the xylem element, so usually ascent of sap takes place in the plant. This diagram is completely explaining how actually the OP, that's a high OP to the low OP, due to the pressure in the plant cell, the water molecules will be movement will be takes place. Another one, that is a vital theory, that's a pulsation theory. This was a very explained by one of the Indian scientists, the premier scientist, Sir J.C. Bose. So he has used an instrument called as a crescograph. That crescograph is used to explain the pulsation theory. He has just what we can in Canada it is told that the plants are having the living, just like animals, plant is also have the living nature. So that was explained by the J.C. Bose. According to him, so he has used an crescograph that consists of the galvanometer and the pin and the connecting material. So he has connected the pin to the plant, and the another wire is circuit is connected to the galvanometer. So based on the conduction of the water, it's showing the how much of water is conducting in the plant. So based on that, he has also mentioned the plants as the living nature. The another one theory, that's a root pressure theory. So when the pressure is created in the root, that will helps to the upward momentum of the water or the ascent of sap. That was explained with the help of mercury manometer. So usually the manometer will takes place just if you take a potted plant and cut the tip of the plant at the stem portion, and you have to insert the mercury manometer. So when the water is conduction is absorbed or the takes place, so what happens, the mercury level will be started to increase, so as shown in the figure. So like that, the root pressure will causes the imbibition. The next, that is another theory, that's a capillary theory. Just like capillary force are involved in the ascent of sap. That's especially the tracheids and vessels. So that was have to capacity to help for the momentum of the water. That's the ascent of sap. The last one, that is a cohesion tension theory. This was first time in 1895 explained by the Dixon and Jolly to explain the water force or the water pressure in the plant due to the negative pressure. So here he has mentioned that the sometime the plant will be smaller size, or some of the gymnosperm or the larger or the longest plant or the tallest plant will be there. So but all plant have to capability to momentum of the water takes in a equal forces. So how it is possible? Because of the cohesion and tension in the water molecules. So this theory is called as cohesion tension theory. So usually the water pressure that will be varies from the 15 lb in 2 inches, that will also causes the different capacity to movement of the water. So this picture is usually very helps to explain the CTC theory. That's a cohesion tension theory. So usually how actually the root will be absorbed by the water will absorb by the root hairs, the next transport to the root, and from the root, so usually through the xylem, the complete momentum of the water. So just look at this picture. So how actually the roots in the soil, so usually the soil particles are there, the root hairs will first absorbs, and through that it will going to the mainstream, and due to the cohesion and tension the molecule, the adherence of these water molecule, they will upward momentum in the xylem tissues will be takes place, and finally due to the upper portion, that is a transpiration will inward in the momentum of the water molecules. So that was explained by the Dixon and Jolly in his cohesion and tension theory. So that he has mentioned that cohesive force is mainly involved in the upward momentum of the water molecule. So these are the some diagrammatic representation to explain the cohesion and tension theories. So these are the steps. So first, what happens when the root is absorbed through the xylem, the water will be conducted, and due to the decrease in the dpd, what happens, the water potential will be decreases. Due to that, the momentum of the molecule takes place, and also due to the upper transpiration in the leaves, the xylem water molecule transport to the leaf portion. So how actually he has explained the cohesion and tension in the plant. So this is the how actually cohesion and tension takes place in case of the plant. So this is how these are the some theories to put forward. That's one vital theory, and another one is a physical theories. The main two theories, that is the vital force theory and the physical force theories. So under that we will study the different types of the physical theory. That's the CTC theory, and also the other theories you will study. And in the vital theories, that's the JC Bose theories will be you have studied in that chapter. So like that, all these theories to mainly explain that how actually the water molecules movement in case of the plant from the root hairs to the upper portion. So that was the main intention of all these theories. So I hope you have got the some point regarding this. In the next video we will explain the guttation in case of the plants. So usually the ascent of sap, what happens, the water molecule will reach to the aerial portion, that's the leaves. Sometimes the in case of the leaf, it may be through the portion, that may be transpiration will takes place, or evaporation will takes place. So that due to the water molecule will be lost. So that mechanism will be explained with the help of, that's a guttation. We will study in the next video. So I hope we will got some of the concept of ascent of sap in case of the plant. So this is a brief explanation about this concept. If you did not get the point or did not get any concept clearly, so once again I will go in the regular classes also, and I have shared some of the videos with you, so you can watch those videos and you will get more clarified with this concept. Thank you.